Henry Kissinger, that is a man that's been involved in politics for many, many years. He's a wood measurement that I won't be sad to see gone. That man was evil in his very makeup. His description of old people was less than complimentary. He called them useless eaters. Basically, he saw that once a person had expired past its useful working life, that basically he had no need for it. This is a man that also steered basically American interests to suit another country. This is a man that led or manipulated numerous presidents in the past into war. This is a man that's been in the ear of many people advisory-wise. This is a man who had another country's interests at heart more than America. He was, at best, disgusting, and I have to say at the moment, if there is a heaven and hell, he'll be exceedingly warm. But he wasn't on his own. There were many other psychopathic nut jobs around at the time, and they have managed to spread their thinking to all the current leaders that you see now. Basically speaking, everything is about profit, everything is about benefiting whoever benefits you, and the little people are purely to be used for labour, to be used to go to war to defend the interests of, in this case, another country many times, and also to go to war and be slaughtered wholesale if it means that globalists can keep their profit. You should look into the history of Henry Kissinger and some of the talks. This is a man that was so drunk on his own power, and he did have a lot of power, by the way, that you could see it in his interviews. Quite a disgusting creature. I would advise anybody to look into him, okay? But don't go through normal channels like Google, etc., because they've probably got a very glossed over version of what Henry Kissinger was involved in. No, I would go to other media sources and look into what he's been up to, and you'll find him to be quite the disgusting creature. But he's no more disgusting than the likes of people like Klaus Schwab, etc. I mean, another one who is equally disgusting and of the same ilk would have been George Soros. George Soros, if anybody knows who he is or doesn't know who he is, he was a Jew that lived in Germany during the time of the Second World War, and he actively helped out the Nazis so that they could hunt out other Jews. And when interviewed about it, he candidly and quite openly said, well, why wouldn't I? Like, you know, people who were interviewing were quite taken back by this. He said it was this simple. He said there was a job to do. If I didn't do it, somebody else would have done it, so I might as well have profited out of it. That would be like, for me, a Christian, knowing there were a lot of other Christians, telling, I don't know, a very unchristian organisation perhaps, that that's where the Christians are, go and get them. Give me my money. So yeah, George Soros also, similar ilk, was the one that committed what we call Black Wednesday. It's when he took the UK banks, and obviously we had to bail out the banks for about, it was, some said it was 1 billion, some said it was 2 billion, but either way. And he actively fucked up our economy for quite a while ago. Made no bones about it. He said, this is what I do. I do believe that even the guy who was in charge in Africa at the time, and I'm trying to remember his name, Nelson Mandela, actually went to him and said, how do I stop an organisation or a person like you doing this to my country? And then Soros actually advised him, probably got paid, I'd imagine, how to safeguard South Africa's financial interests from some opportunities like himself. But there is a line or a thread between the two of them, but I'll let you work that out. However, there are many people of all different faiths and religions that are exactly the same as those people, and they all group together and work together, even if they don't like each other, which often they don't, and they're very suspicious because, generally speaking, these psychopaths are incredibly paranoid. That's how they work. That's how they stay where they are. But they all work together on a global scale and then meet up at places like, I don't know, Davos. They have the Bilderberger groups and many other groups like that, and they all work together to make sure they look after their financial interests and the world keeps going in a direction that best suits them, not us by the way, so that they can make sure that the sheep are kept blindfolded and useless, but still clever enough just to work, but dumbed down enough not to work out really what's going on in the world. And they'll get together and they'll have all sorts of business plans that go together. They'll have numerous meetings ongoing, and they'll come up with the next event to keep us all looking in the wrong direction. And you'll probably notice this And now I'm being called, so I better go. I might just put the phone down, but I better go anyway. Sorry about that. I'll see you in a bit.